This podcast is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Listener discretion is advised as some cases contain graphic content. We mean no disrespect to anyone we discuss in this podcast except our exes. Everyone is innocent until proven guilty. However, we will be expressing our personal opinions. Buckle up, Buttercup.
Hey everybody, it's Cynthia.
And I'm Wes, and you're watching or listening, depending on your...
Yeah. Which one?
Love and Luminol, a true crime podcast.
Like about damn time.
I know, we got video, guys.
You can see what pictures he's looking at finally, right?
What pictures I'm looking at?
Like when we do a case and I have a...
Oh, yeah. So
you can share
you'll
pictures
be able to
with
see,
them.
You'll be able to see what she shows me, because we'll have it up on the video. So, yeah.
There you go.
This will be pretty cool. It's different.
So, yeah.
I mean, I'm not used to looking over here while I'm talking to people.
Right.
I'm usually like, so.
Exactly. So bear with us. It's going to be messy first few times.
Yeah.
You will definitely see some cats because they're already nosy as hell.
That's true. Normally when we do the audio version of this podcast, they actually run around and jump on our table because we usually do it over at the kitchen table. And yeah, I mean, so they'll probably be over here because they want to know. In fact, there's one right by my leg right now. Anyway, so what are we doing today?
We are doing episode 13.
13.
Yeah, lucky number 13. Phoebe Handsjuk.
Oh, 13's actually a lucky number for me.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, it wasn't lucky for her.
Uh-oh. Phoebe
Handsjuk. 13.
13.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get to it.
All right. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's see what we got.
All right. So Phoebe Handsjuk. I already have her picture up there on the TV.
Yep.
You see, very pretty smile.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I had a smile like that.
Like
it just brightens. Yeah, it brightens her whole face, and just you can't help but smile when you look at her smiling.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
I have a feeling
happiness.
she, like when she walked in, like people wanted to go talk to her.
Yeah, like she has that smile.
Kind of person. Yeah.
But she's born May 9th, Taurus, right? 1986.
I don't know. Is that a Taurus?
Braden's May 2nd. He's a Taurus.
Yeah, so
I assume.
Taurus it is.
In Melbourne, Australia.
Ooh.
Down under. You know, I had no idea until it was an old lady I used to work with. The first hospital I worked with. She was in her 70s, about to retire. And she went every year to the Thunder Down Under. Apparently that's Australian Chippendales.
Oh, yeah.
I did not know that.
They have that in Vegas.
Do they Thunder Down Under?
Yeah.
I think that's the coolest name.
Yeah.
Like Thunder Down Under.
When Pete and I went to Vegas before we got married, I sent you a picture of it.
I think so.
Pretty sure.
Did you go?
Yeah. No.
Oh. She was the older sister to two brothers, Tom and Nikolai. It's a pretty name.
Nikolai.
Her father, Lynn Handsjuk, was a psychiatrist. Which, when you get into her background, you're kind of like, that's very weird to have a dad in that profession and end up like this. But he was a psychiatrist. Mm-hmm. At 15, Phoebe began drinking and experimenting with drugs.
Good stuff.
Yep. So, of course, teenagers. That's about the time they'll start to try that stuff.
Fucking teenagers.
Right. She ran off and lived with an ex-convict and his child for 8 weeks. And, that was at 15. She just like, peace, I'm out.
Ex-convict, huh?
Yeah.
Do we know what he did?
No, we don't know what he did. It didn't specify, but it's just, I wouldn't if Braden's like, all right, Mom, I'm moving out in with Sheila and she's got 3 felonies. I'd been like, no.
No, that's okay.
No. But she moved out, stayed with that convict and his kid for 8 weeks, and then she returned home and was prescribed antidepressants.
By her dad?
No, he couldn't. Since he was her father, he couldn't prescribe her medication. Yeah. She had to go to someone else, which is why I'm like, I'm sure it was weird for him.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I have someone else, another psychiatrist giving her drugs and knows all her business when I should, I know what I'm doing too. So it's kind of weird for him, I'm sure. But
especially if he was, I don't know, if she had problems with him.
Oh, true. I didn't think of that.
Then his
I don't
colleague,
think they did.
His colleague would know like all his like dirty little secrets.
Oh, that's
like,
awful.
He used to spank me with the wooden spoon.
That's awful. But she had some depression issues. So she was prescribed some antidepressants, returned home. And that was right before she started a relationship with a teacher twice her age. Damn. She's a rebel.
So let me pause for just a second, because we joke around like I just went, he used to beat me with the wooden spoon. Like, we're not making fun of victims, just throwing that out there.
No.
We just joke around. That's how we are.
It's our personality.
If anybody thinks we're trying to dehumanize or degrade a victim, we're not. We're just joking. It's how we keep it entertaining, and how we talk like this with each other all the time. Yeah. So like something dark and negative will be happening, and we'll just joke about it. It makes us feel better. So,
well, they say we're dicks, not assholes, or is it we're assholes, not dicks?
Who says that? Is that a podcast?
I don't know. I think so. I heard it from Small Town Murders, maybe.
Yeah, Small Town Murders.
He said
they're good. By
we're
the way,
assholes, not something.
Yeah,
but yeah,
and they have kind of the same concept where they joke a bit, but they're not trying to hurt victims either.
No. But we'll make fun of the killers and stuff.
Yeah.
No respect for that way, but victims, no, never. But so she got into a relationship with a teacher twice her age. So that's a rough teenager to have to deal with. Yep. I'm sure her dad was going crazy being a psychiatrist in heaven. Yeah, those. But at 23, she worked the reception at a Lindley Godfrey hair salon in South Yarra. Yarra? Yarra. Yeah. And it was at that job she met 39-year-old Anthony. It's not Anthony. It's Antony. Like, Antony. There's no H. Antony. Anthony Hample.
You got to say that like you're Italian. It's Anthony. Anthony over here.
But I lost my spot. He's one of the salon's clients. So he came in to get his hair did. She was the receptionist.
There you go.
So that's how they met. He was an events promoter.
Uh-huh.
Whatever that does.
So...
Is that Ryan Seacrest?
No. So the event promoter would be... how do I explain it? They're the person who gets like everybody to show up. That's their job.
Oh.
So they're going to handle advertisement. They're going to get the venue together. They're going to make it all cool and try to entice people to show up.
Makes sense. Well, that's what he did. His father, this is important, his father was a Supreme Court judge, George Hample. So
Hample?
Yes. His father is a Supreme Court judge. You recognize that name?
No.
Hample?
Should I?
I don't know. You're always listening to CNN. That's what I was wondering.
This is in the
Australia, yeah. That's what I didn't know.
So I'm not going to know them anyway.
All right. His stepmother was a county court judge, Felicity Hample. So stepmother and father, both judges.
Yeah. They're both into politics and legal.
I remember that.
Oh, that's important?
Yeah.
Okay.
She dated Anthony for 5 months before moving in with him in Blanca. I'm horrible names. Blanca apartment on St. Kilda Road, October 2009. So after 5 months of dating, she moved in.
That's not too big of a rush, I guess.
I guess not. However, they broke up repeatedly during their relationship.
It happens.
It was a rough one. In fact, she left him 4 times in the 6 weeks leading up to her murder. It's like almost once a week. They're like, wow. Get out. You're like,
I know some people like that.
Yeah. But the relationship lasted a total of 18 months before she died.
18 months.
Spoiler alert, she dies.
Well.
That's like,
I mean.
So you didn't think.
This is a true crime podcast.
Yeah,
so
but sometimes the episodes are in the name of the killers instead of the victims. Like
that's
O.J.
true.
Simpson. Yeah,
that's true.
So I didn't want
because we did the OJ cases, so yeah.
Yeah, she's the victim, not the perpetrator.
Okay.
And now you know. Things were rocky between them the weeks leading up to her death. Of course. She told friends and family that Ant had a controlling side. He went by Ant. That was his nickname, Ant. A-N-T. Yep.
There's a, not to get too far off subject, but one of my favorite hip hop groups, Atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
The rapper, his name is Slug, and the DJ's name is Ant.
Nice.
Just a side note.
Doubts
Check them out. They're great.
Check them out, he says. Check them out. Shout out.
Atmosphere.
But he had a controlling side, and she had no voice in the relationship. Like, she couldn't make any decisions. I've been there, done that. But her mother planned on taking her out on an out-of-country trip. I don't know where exactly they were going. Italy, I think. Somewhere over that way.
Okay.
For her 21st birthday.
I knew they were Italian. Ain't me.
But they never got to. So, because at this point she's 23 and it was for her 21st birthday. She's running a little behind.
Yeah.
But right before she died, a short time before her death, she called her mother and said, "Hey, I'm going to take you up on that trip and I need to do it quickly."
Okay.
Yeah. So out of the blue, she calls her mom. Yeah, out of the blue, she calls her mom up and she's like, "Okay, let's do that trip now, but let's do it. Let's get to it. Like, let's go." So, as rocky as their relationship is, that could be something happening. She wanted out.
Maybe.
But Aunt made her quit her job as a receptionist when she moved in, saying it was below them.
Below them?
Yeah.
What?
See, that's the kind of personality he is. It was below him. Her being a receptionist is below them.
This position is beneath you.
Yeah, exactly. He got her a job at an ad company. He's an events promoter, so that makes sense now, I guess. But a witness one time gave Phoebe a ride because I guess Aunt and her got into a fight, and he left her wherever she was. Bar, restaurant, somewhere. He just took off. And so she hitchhiked. Some lady gave her a ride. And during that ride, she spoke a lot about how rocky the relationship was and how horrible it was. So talked a lot of shit about Aunt.
Okay.
However, when all this is said and done and it goes to court, the witness was not able to testify to this because she died before the court hearing over the death investigation. So this was left out of the courts. Yeah. So it was never used in court. But every time Phoebe tried to leave Aunt, he just kept pulling her back somehow. Like, that typical abusive relationship. Yep. He's like, "No, I'll change. Come back." And then come back. Yeah. It was that. But right before her death, she finally put a plan together to get sober because at this point, she was on drugs, alcohol. She wanted to get, I don't think it was crack. I don't know, honestly.
No.
But I know it was alcoholism for sure, and I think it was anxiety meds or sleeping pills, something like that. Coke
and tequila.
Yeah. So she quit her job to leave him. Like, she's like, "I'm done with your job, done with your place. I'm going to quit drinking. I'm out."
I'm out. Done.
Easier said than done because it didn't go as planned. She got out, but Aunt called her, and she ended up moving back in. Dragged her right back.
Fucking Aunt.
And then
it's just like ants. You try to get rid of them, and they just keep coming back.
Right. She was depressed, of course. We know she's on antidepressants, and she's also suicidal. So, yeah, she called shortly before her death. I don't know the exact time frame, but she called her dad and Len and told him that if he didn't call her back, she was going to throw her phone away and leave the world.
Leave the world?
Leave the world was her words.
That's like the YouTubers who can't say murder.
Unalived.
We're talking about someone who left the world.
Yes. She wanted to leave the world.
Okay.
He called her back, but she didn't answer, and he's like, whatever, because she's dramatic, and he says she's like this. Just dramatic. She's a girl.
Yeah.
He's like, I ain't worried about it. She's taking a nap.
BBC.
What?
BBC. Bitches be crazy.
I thought he was big.
No, it is not that.
So I was like, what's that got to do with her not answering her phone?
See the difference?
See, the mindsets we got.
I was thinking about Just a random popular phrase, and she was thinking pornography.
Yep. But she didn't answer her phone. He wasn't worried. Thank you. He wasn't worried. But on December 1st, 2010, she went to bed about 5 p.m. Don't know how they know that. No one was with her, so how
Who goes to bed at 5 p.m.?
Well, she's drunk, probably. She had an alcohol problem and drug problem. She might have just been sleeping pills, alcohol. I'm going to go take a nap.
I guess.
But I just don't know how they knew it was 5 p.m. That's pretty specific for someone that was alone.
Did she tell someone? Like,
she must have.
About to go to bed. Talk to you later.
She must have, because who would have known? But, well, yeah, she said she wasn't feeling too well, so she told someone.
She told someone, I'm not feeling well. I'm going to bed. Talk to you tomorrow.
I need to finish reading the sentence before I open my mouth.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I'm distracting.
No, I just get too excited and I voice my opinion before I finish reading. And then right after that, it's like, that's my answer.
Yeah.
But Aunt's key fob, they lived in a nice ass apartment to where you had to have a key fob to unlock the gate to get in to park and stuff.
Fancy.
And getting the doors, you had a key fob. But Aunt's key fob for their apartment recorded that he unlocked the gate around 6 p.m. So that wasn't a very long nap, 5 to 6. He's on his way.
Yeah.
Additional key fob transactions from him were reported at 7 p.m., 7:39 p.m., and 7:40 p.m. He's in and out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is he bringing a body out?
I don't know. According to him, when he got home, they stayed in all night. Like, he got home, woke her up, they had dinner, they stayed in all night. According to him. So I don't know what this key fob moving in and out is.
Taking out the trash.
Could be something. But the tragic day, December 2nd of 2010. Almost said 2010. I changed it to 2010.
What's wrong with 2010?
I almost said it. You know what I'm saying? Like when you almost say something, but then you change it.
Oh,
that's why I was like,
I was going to say,
2010.
I thought you changed it because there was something wrong with saying it that way.
I was going to say 20. I said 2010.
2010.
Yeah.
That's a long ways from now.
So, that was the day she passed. But she went, no, I was backspaced. She was seen on CCTV footage leaving the apartment to walk her dog around 11:44 p.m. or a.m. So right before noon, she went out to walk the dog. They had a dog.
Okay.
A fire drill occurred right before that. So there's a fire drill. She's like, whatever, I'm taking the dog out. So she was caught on camera walking out to walk the dog.
The apartment has fire drills?
Yes.
Cool.
Nice, isn't it?
That is fancy. They got key fobs. They do regular fire drills. What else they got?
I don't know. Probably a lot. They have a gym, apparently.
A gym.
Yeah. It was nice. But she's supposed to meet her father for dinner later that day. She never made it, apparently.
No.
Aunt claimed he arrived home shortly after 6:09 p.m. Was Cato with him? 6:09?
Oh,
key
Lord.
Fobs. Key fobs, that's why.
Yeah.
Like,
so, yeah.
I was like, is
Cato didn't have a key fob.
No, Cato's just
Cato was just
time.
on it. He's like 6:37 on the dot. I heard a
He
boom.
knew some shit was going down. He's like, I'm keeping track of tonight because he's mad.
He's like, something's happening tonight. I just know it.
He's going to talk to her and he's pissed. Something's happening. I
We
need
were
to
at
make
Burger
note.
King getting meth.
McDonald's.
Something was bound to happen when OJ's on meth. Shit gets crazy. You know what? That's probably, not to go back to that case too much, but that's probably when he flips out and gets jealous and like was yelling in the 911 call. Maybe that was one of his meth nights.
Maybe. Or he said he blacked out. Maybe that was from meth. Can't remember.
Maybe. But maybe Cato just knows when OJ's on meth, shit gets real. And I need to pay attention to the clock.
He did go buy it with him, you know.
Yeah. I need to pay attention to the clock when OJ's on meth.
Yeah. I need to document this for my benefit.
Anyway.
But
the time.
Yes. He arrived home shortly after 6:09.
6:09.
And found shards of broken glass and blood splattered across Phoebe's computer and keyboard. So she had a computer keyboard out doing some work. There's broken glass. There's blood splatter. Her purse, wallet, and keys were on the kitchen counter.
So
she
it
was
wasn't a
not
robbery.
there. No, she was not there. So there's broken glass, a little bit of blood drops, her purse, keys, everything's laying on the counter, and she's not there. There's also 2 used wine glasses on the table, and the police never dusted them for prints.
Uh-oh. Just
Yeah.
like the OJ case. They just
Drop the
don't do
balls.
some stuff.
Balls are being dropped. They never dusted it for trips.
Balls are being dropped.
Never dusted it for prints. Even though, and I think he would have pushed that, being her boyfriend. He comes home.
Somebody checked those glasses.
There's blood missing. There's 2 wine glasses. So obviously, since I was gone, someone was here with her. Something happened because there's broken glass and blood. Yeah, I think I'd be pushing like, you need to. I wasn't here, so that's not my glass.
Yeah, I would too. I mean, yeah.
But what he did was far out of the norm, so we'll get to that.
Uh-oh.
But
About to
a
get
housekeeper
crazy.
was what?
I said about to get crazy.
Yeah. A
Housekeeper. Jesus.
Yes.
Key fobs. Fucking fire drills. And now housekeeper.
Well, the housekeeper keeps track of the trash and all that stuff.
So he wasn't taking out the trash during that whole key fob situation.
No, we're going to get to it. You'll know.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I mentioned that possibly he was taking out the trash.
No, he
but
doesn't have to
if
leave the building to
was
take the trash out.
If the housekeeper was taking the trash out, he didn't do it.
No. But
Wait, they got a garbage chute?
yes,
Oh, fuck me.
they have a garbage chute. So he just got to walk out the door, drop it down the chute.
I got to find out where this place is.
Right?
They got too many features I want.
They do. But the housekeeper's going into the garbage room to dump off some of her garbage and stuff she collected.
Mm-hmm.
And it was dark in there. The lights were off.
Okay.
But there's a trash compactor down there and chutes on each floor where people can go and drop their garbage, and it goes right down the compactor.
Okay.
What?
You're mentioning garbage chutes and trash compactors.
You know.
I know where this is headed.
Yes. And she walked into the room, turned lights on, and saw a bloody scene. Blood everywhere. Everywhere. Because Phoebe apparently came down the 40-meter long garbage chute and into the compactor, where she almost nearly severed her right foot off.
What?
Because it's a compactor. It's smashing it.
Oh.
So she went down and it smashed her feet and legs. But her jeans were also around her knees because she was still alive and was crawling around the floor trying to find the door.
Oh.
Because it's dark in there, remember? It's pitch black. The lights were
Yeah.
off. Her legs are crushed and she's dragging herself trying to find the door to get out. So that's why it was a bloody scene, because there's like blood smears and drags, and
Yeah.
it's like she crawled all over that room trying to get out. It's horrible. There's handprints on the walls, smears on the floors. There's bloody handprints on the walls where she's reaching for doorknobs. The housekeeper immediately, besides pissing herself, went and called 911, and the police arrived.
I would say so.
And this is where Aunt, Lord have, is finally.
Oh, Aunt.
Yeah, Aunt. Well, he comes downstairs because he ordered takeout. I mean, you come into your apartment, there's broken glass, blood, 2 wine glasses. I think I'll order Chinese.
I mean, sure.
She's not here. I got feed myself.
True. She didn't have dinner ready when he came home.
Yeah, so he ordered takeout and was watching TV. When he came down to get his food delivery is when he noticed a lot of freaking police were there and news people, and he's like, what in the hell is going on?
Okay.
So he asked one of the officers, he's like, what's going on?
But wait a minute. You said he found blood.
Yeah.
Never mind. Move on.
Yeah, he found blood, broken
he found
glass.
blood and broken glass. He's going to order some food, and he's surprised that police are around.
Yeah, he's like, what is going on?
Okay.
And he asked them, and they said, well, they found a young female dead here at the apartment complex. And they said, well, my girlfriend's missing, actually, now that you mention it. Like,
Coinky dink.
there's blood in my apartment.
There's blood in my apartment,
that
too.
might be her.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's a keeper, ain't he?
Yeah. I would date him.
wouldn't. But she had noticeable bruises on her arms, which appeared unlikely to have been caused from her fall.
Uh-oh.
So, yeah, they're like, Police initially thought she sleepwalked to the chute and climbed in.
The fuck?
But I'll show you. Actually, I'm forgetting my pictures over here.
Oh, yeah, you got pictures.
That's well, you don't get to see it. That would be Phoebe, and then that's Ant. Pleasant looking. He reminds me of Ryan Seacrest looking guy.
He does.
Looks like Ryan Seacrest.
I like the aviators.
Yeah, he's got these fancy glasses on. That's him without glasses and her.
Oh, yeah,
what?
he looks like an asshole.
He's an asshole.
She looks way different.
Yeah, she cut her hair off. I don't know if that's her choice or his choice. I don't.
Oh no, she was
his personality.
You said she was dealing with a lot of mental health
Yeah.
stuff, so
Changing
maybe
your
she
hair.
just Not to say that everybody who changes their hair has mental health issues,
No.
but people who have it tend to do drastic things
Like
to
to
themselves,
change
like
it
chop
up.
off their hair.
Yeah, she cut all her hair off. That's her and her brothers. Look at that smile.
Yeah.
You just look at her, you're like,
Yeah.
that smile.
Her brothers look like twins.
Yeah, they do. They might be. It didn't say. Tom and Nikolai. So, But this chute, because the next picture involves this part of it.
Mm-hmm.
This chute was 14.5 by 8.6 inches.
Okay.
So it's a small chute.
Yeah.
The investigators concluded that Phoebe entered the chute between 12:03 and 7 p.m. It's a big window.
Yeah. I mean,
Her autopsy showed that her blood alcohol level was more than 3 times the legal limit at 0.16.
okay, so she was drunk.
And 1 or 2 sleeping pills of Stilnox were in her system. I don't know
Okay.
what Stilnox is. You might worked at pharmacy.
That one I'm not sure of. It's not one I've dealt with.
But she went in feet first with her hands by her side. So you're
I knocked my mic. All right, let's see.
going to look up Stilnox?
Yeah, you got me curious.
'Cause
I
I know it's for sleeping because it says sleeping pills. Still and then NOX.
Stilnox. There we go. Oh, it's Ambien.
Ambien? Oh.
Yeah, it's Zolpidem, which is Ambien.
Oh, well, there you go. She took a couple Ambiens and drank a shit ton of liquor.
Must be a Australian brand.
Must be. And I don't know if I mentioned this. I might mention it
Hey,
later
now you
on.
get to see what I do. Like, she brings up something and I'm like, hold on, let me look this up. That's what I did.
He does. That's why when he's quiet, he's got his phone out looking up something. And then he comes in and be like, oh, I know what this is. And I'm like, dude, that was 2 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I'm past it. Moved on. But I don't know if I put it in here somewhere, but she was a very, because I had multiple sources.
Mm-hmm.
She's a very active woman. Like
Yeah.
in school, she's in sports.
I can see that.
Yeah.
She looks like
did karate, yoga.
She looks like a
Pilates.
runner.
Yeah, she did a lot of running. She was very active. Gymnastics. Like,
Yeah,
she's everywhere.
I was going to say gymnastics. See,
Karate.
track and gymnastics is what
Yeah,
I'm getting.
that's what. So she's very active. So keep that in mind too. But she's very, very drunk as well. Keep that in mind. And on sleeping pills.
Yeah.
But she went in feet first, hands by her side.
She's a gymnast.
Yeah.
No, I'm just playing.
But here's a picture of the chute. You can
Oh.
see, yeah, there's no handles around the
Wait a
wall.
minute.
The door pulls down in front of.
But it doesn't open all the way. It just comes like that.
Yeah, it's got a chain. If you look, there's a chain on the side, keeping it up like that. So that's why. And they're saying she sleepwalked and climbed into that. I couldn't climb into that perfectly sober, right?
That's
It's 8.6 inches. She's got to be 8.6 inches wide to get. I mean, to fit in that slot.
how would she get up there
Exactly.
to slide down? I'm very lost.
Yeah. Well, they're saying she did it sleepwalking.
She's a gymnast.
She
did
She does
a
karate.
double axel backflip.
Drunk?
Drop. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Damn. Oh, she can
Cop
hold her
said
liquor.
if the cop said she did it, like, you got to think outside the box on how this is even possible. How would they even come up with that idea?
I don't know. They just assume. They're like,
how would you just assume that?
they're like,
That's like the most illogical
and fit.
thing. Yeah, but
I mean, if she went down head first, yeah, I could see it. She probably stuck your head in,
and
kicked up.
Woo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But feet first, she had to. There's nothing to hold on to pull yourself up there.
Would she parkour off the wall?
Like Spider-Man.
Like pull it down and just...
But there's nothing to hang on to, so you just fall on your back and people will be laughing at you trying to put their trash in there.
It's practically impossible.
It is. But they said it's not. But
that was the most logical idea they had?
That's what they had.
This is how it happened, guys.
Aunt's father and grandfather came to the apartment. I skipped a line. After 5 days of leaving the CCTV footage and Phoebe's computers and phones behind the apartment because they didn't believe there's no foul play. So they're like, we're not taking none of her devices. Nothing like, no fingerprint in those glasses over there. There's no foul play. We're not worried about it. So Aunt's father and grandfather came to the apartment to gather all of Phoebe's stuff together. So they gathered all her stuff up. Took it. Phoebe's mom, it took forever for her to get her things back. It took a few weeks. They're like, she kept saying, Aunt, I need her phone. I need her computer. This ain't right. She didn't do this herself. He goes, okay, it's broken. His excuse was, it's broken. I'm getting it fixed. Broken again. And it took weeks. And finally he's like, here you go. And he gave her the phone back.
Sounds like he was going through deleting shit, messages.
That's what they were thinking. But her family believes she was murdered. They're like, there's no way that her drunk ass did that kind of parkour shit.
I'm going to say, even if she wasn't drunk and on sleeping pills, that looks pretty damn impossible. It does. Do they have someone like trying to do this?
Yeah, we'll get into it.
Because there's a person in this picture.
Yeah, well, I'll get to that picture. I just wanted to see the size of it.
Yeah.
But the coroner finally concluded that it was an accidental death. I don't know how they got... I assume it's not suicide. It's accidental because she was drunk.
She's drunk, half asleep.
On sleeping pills.
And parkours up the wall while pulling this...
And accidentally goes down that crack.
And then jumps in. Accidentally.
Yeah, the coroner believed that she climbed in all by herself, drunk and out of her mind.
Here comes the line. I call bullshit.
You call bullshit. I call bullshit. Her family's like, I call bullshit. Her father used one of her friends, which is that girl right there. One of her friends who were the same size and stature as Phoebe. She's also athletic, like she did.
Yeah.
All this other Pilates and stuff too. To recreate the climb. Yeah. And this girl's perfectly sober, not on any sleeping pills.
Here's the thing, though.
Struggled like hell.
What? It's an accidental death. You don't climb accidentally.
No.
So.
I think they're saying it's accidental because she was so drunk she didn't think it through.
I'm just saying, if somebody has to climb to do something.
Yeah.
You can't call it an accident. Like that right there.
I get that took effort.
Yeah.
But I guess what they were thinking was that she's drunk. She just thought it was a nice little slide to do. Woohoo! And didn't realize because she's so drunk that there's a crash compactor at the end there that she could get hurt. So I guess they thought she's drunk and just thought it was a slide.
I think that's a slide. Oh my God.
It was going to go to the bottom. She'd be like, woohoo! And have fun. They thought she was leaving to get food or something and just took the slide out. I was like, but it was not. No. There's no bars or edges or handles on the wall to hang on to pull yourself up there. There's got a chain. So I would assume if you were using that door to pull yourself up there, that the chain would snap, right? If you're standing on the door to sit down.
Yeah.
The chain would be like, poop, and the door would flop down.
Yeah. But
no, she had a very hard time. Her friend had a very hard time. She eventually needed help from Phoebe's dad to get up in there and to get her legs in.
So she needed a boost.
Yeah, she needed a boost. She couldn't. There's nothing to grab onto.
It's pretty high up on the wall.
Yeah,
like it looks like it's about waist high.
It's belly button high.
And that's the bottom of it.
Yeah. And it's like she and this girl had to have, you know,
And
some
it's flat
support to
against
pull
the
her
wall.
legs
It's
up.
like,
There's nothing to hold on to.
I don't get it.
You'd have to jump in the air and land in it.
Yeah.
There's no way.
I can see that happening.
There's no way.
Oh, I made it.
And I was thinking before I saw this picture and I was just reading about it, I was thinking, well, I thought the door opened all the way.
That's what I thought.
So I thought, well, if you lay on the floor on your back and put your legs in first and then pull on that door to maybe pull yourself up, you can kind of do it. But that door doesn't
Before
open
I
all
saw
the way.
that picture, like I would assume that it would open all the way, and
But it don't.
No, it just opens kind of like
It just kind of boop.
it's like
opens.
this.
Yeah, like a library book return. It just opens enough to stick the book in.
That's the best way to describe that. Like
Yeah.
like a Dropbox for a return, like
a library book.
the old video stores
Yeah.
or the bank. I don't know
Oh,
if you,
yeah.
like if you've ever done like a bank deposit for like a business, you drop it and
That's what it
it's
looks
very
like.
small.
No way in hell I could have got up there. But I mean, there's no
Wait,
way.
how do you put trash bag? They must be tiny trash
Yeah.
bags. It's not like you could take our big kitchen.
I'm sure if
thing
you
and shove
pushed on
in
it
there.
hard enough, you might get it
I
down
don't
in there.
think so.
But I don't.
Not as much as we fill it
I
up.
wouldn't think. Maybe that's where the housekeeper was taking the bigger bags of trash in there.
Mm.
Maybe they set it outside their door and she collects the trash. You're moving now, aren't you?
Yeah.
But they're not sure how she got in. But they are sure that she went in feet first due to her injuries.
Okay.
So they knew that it crushed her feet first. Her family also said it would have been damn near impossible for her to do that, as drunk and high on sleeping pills as she was. They're like, ain't no way.
Like I said, even sober.
However, she was very athletic. So they're like, well, she's athletic. She's small. She's limber. She just walks right up there.
Yeah. She just walked up the wall, paused, opened it up, still standing on the wall, by the way.
Yes.
And then just put her feet inside and then slid down.
I would be flat out pissed. This was my child, and they're like, yeah, he did that on accident. I'm like, how in the hell? I've seen him trip over his own shoes. No, he didn't do that. No.
She must have been aware that she's in the Matrix and knows how to do things we don't know how to do, like walk up walls.
I'd be pissed if it was my child and they're like, it's an accident. I'd be like, bullshit.
Mm-mm.
No. Care if he's in John Wick. He can't do that.
That's funny. I mentioned the Matrix. You mentioned John Wick.
Is he in the Matrix?
Yeah, it's Keanu
I've never
Reeves.
seen the Matrix. Don't. He's like,
You've never seen the Matrix.
no, I've never seen the Matrix. I
Well,
know what it
okay,
is.
We're watching.
But I've never seen
We're
the
watching
Matrix.
them. There's 3 of them.
We're watching the new
4 of
Magic
them. There's
Mike
a new one,
movie. Is
too.
what we're watching.
No.
It's got Salma Hayek in it.
Okay, we're watching it.
That's what I thought. See,
Does she strip too?
I hope. I don't think so.
I hope so. Too.
I don't know.
I want to get something out of this. I mean, I don't.
Maybe. But in 2013, a full inquest into Phoebe's death was done after her mom raised $50,000 to do it. She's like, I want this reinvestigated. I want it done
She had
right.
to raise $50,000
Just, yeah.
to do what the police should have done from the beginning.
Yeah. Ann's attorney, because obviously they said he did it. Ann's attorney claimed that she climbed in herself drunk. In the coroner, Peter White testified she sleepwalked into it. So
Sleepwalked
Ann's
into
attorney
it.
said
Come
she
on.
was drunk, wanted to end it, climbed in there and died. Suicide. The coroner's like, it was an accident. She's on sleeping pills, Ambien. She got up and sleepwalked and climbed in there. Her mom's like, fuckers, someone killed her. Probably Aunt, but somebody killed her. But on December 10th of 2014, the inquest ended in Aunt's favor.
What?
Yep.
How is that even possible?
Got off scot-free. It was ruled accidental death. Case closed. Book shut.
Makes
Her
no
mom spent
sense.
$50,000 for them to be like, I'm leaving. But if you remember, Supreme Court Judge Daddy.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So they're thinking that may be why it ruled in his favor.
Wow.
His
And
stepmom.
then the mom was what'd you say, a
County court
county court?
judge. 2 judges.
No wonder.
Yeah, no wonder he got off.
There's no jury?
For the inquest? Probably not.
Oh, no, it was an inquest. So he didn't actually have
No.
Like, he was never arrested.
They couldn't charge anybody for murder because the coroner ruled her death a accident. So no one was charged with murder, but they were suing, kind of like Ron's family did OJ. They're like,
So
he's
it was a civil
responsible.
suit.
We're suing him. Yeah. And the judge is like, no, it's not his fault.
But the judge wasn't the dad, right?
No,
or
it
the
wasn't.
mom.
No.
So
I'm sure they had, influence. I mean, I wouldn't want to throw a Supreme Court judge's son in jail.
It was
I'd
on
be like,
the aunt calls Aunt's in court, and he's like, so Uncle Jack,
what happened was I ordered Chinese food.
and then it
got cold because I had to answer
the judge
50
is
million
like,
questions.
just to clarify, we are of no relation. He calls me Uncle Jack because he's known me since he was a child.
It's horrible. But Phoebe's grandfather, he was a retired detective. So this kind of goes, yeah, that poor guy's stressing the fuck out.
Oh.
But
he's like, what did they do?
Yeah. He believes that her death had something to do with the Melbourne drug trade, and that aunt may be tied into that somehow. Because when she was with him, she was drunk, sleeping pills, and who knows what else. He's walking around rich as hell.
I mean, he lives in a building that has fobs, fire drills, and a maid that picks your shit up, and a garbage chute with a trash compactor at the bottom.
Yeah,
he's doing well. Mm-hmm. Of course, his two parents are judges. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Besides that, if he did get in the drug trade to make some money,
what?
Who cares? He's got judges.
Yeah, dude, that would have been like the perfect setup. Like, you're in the drug trade, your family watches to make sure you don't get in trouble for it.
They're like,
he had it made.
He did. So that's what her grandfather is hinting at. It was the drug trade. She got mixed up in it. They killed her. Whatever. She knows too much, or she knew too much. Something. But others believed it was Aunt himself. Since, there's blood everywhere and he just ate and had a beer. So
Chinese and a beer.
He wasn't that worried about it.
Was it really Chinese, by the way?
I don't know what it was. It just said takeout. I assume it. I just say Chinese.
Pizza or Chinese. This is Australia, so it may be different of what they can get. And we have DoorDash now, but I mean, I would assume pizza or Chinese if it was America, but it's not, so we don't know.
Yeah, who knows what it was. They didn't specify. It was food and a beer. They said beer.
Beer.
Whatever beer went with. Chicken wings. I don't know. But there's more pictures of the shoot I have.
He had a blooming onion and a beer.
Right. That's her friend, her dad, attorney. I believe it was an attorney.
Mm-hmm.
Or not her dad. Yeah, dad or grandpa. One of the two.
The former cop.
Yeah, but that's her friend, and as you can see, she's kind of turned sideways, and she's got her leg in. She's trying to wiggle in there her best she could, and she's struggling. I mean, she's got to have good balance, because she's standing on this slant. She's standing both legs in it. She's holding on to the door, and she's trying to wiggle in there. I couldn't do that drunk. I'd be so... You can't walk a straight line drunk. How are you going to...
Well, not only that, but she's on sleeping pills. Her balance would be all off.
Yeah, that took
drunk
balance.
And sleeping pills. And like you said, she needed a boost to get up there.
Yeah, she needed help. He had to hold, kind of assist her in getting her up there.
I call you.
But then it was redone. I don't know who redid it, but someone redid it and used this girl and said, look, this is how it's done.
So pull it down.
However,
put your body weight on it and pull up, flip your leg over. Then flip the other leg over, stand, and...
Yep.
I mean...
But if you notice, this is the detective in me. If you notice, that's not a chain.
Oh, yeah, where's the chain?
That's like a metal sheet holding it up. That's a little sturdier than a chain. If that was a little chain, I'm sure she would have pulled that door off.
So this is a different one.
Yeah, they used a different door to do it. And it has like an actual piece of metal. So that would have been a little sturdier, a little something to hold on to.
Yeah.
Because that chain you couldn't really hold on to, and that chain would have probably broke if you were leaning on it like that, putting your legs in. It would have snapped. Yeah. So I don't give this any kind of pull. I'm like,
I still want to see her stand all the way straight up and go down.
Yeah. She's got one leg in. And they're like, good
I mean,
enough. But there we got it. Yeah. But see, her arms are not by her side.
Yep.
Phoebe's arms were by her side.
Yeah. Because she would have to lift them up above her head to go down.
Yeah. She doesn't have to wiggle them beside her. You like that wiggle beside them. Plus with that hunk of metal there too. So
yeah. With the chain, you could have put your arms down but
easier,
with that metal piece, you can't.
So it's like, so this was easier to get into, but harder to get your arms down. The other one was harder to get into, but easier to get your arms down. It's like not the perfect combination either way.
Can't win.
No. But I'd say, they're like, see, she made it.
No, you didn't. Your arms are not by your side. You didn't make it. Sorry.
But here's the suspicious part on Aunt's side.
Here's the suspicious. I thought this whole thing was a suspicious part. Now you're like,
here's the really suspicious part.
That was all pretty normal. Here we go. Here's the. Yeah.
That was all. What do they call it? Not coincidence.
Coincidence. What?
Circumstantial.
Circumstantial.
I don't know. But Aunt went on to date a 25-year-old model, Bailey Schneider, in 2018. Mm-hmm. So 8 years after Phoebe died.
Yeah.
And this poor girl apparently committed suicide.
Oh, Lord. You said poor girl.
Yeah, she died with a gold cord wrapped around her neck hours after they broke up, hanging in the closet at her parents'.
Okay.
Her death was ruled a suicide, but her parents say that was impossible. She was happy. She's excited to get out of that relationship, move on. Yet, ruled a suicide. Every girlfriend he's had has died, and it's been ruled every which way except murder.
Aunt.
Yeah. Like, does his dad have that much pull? What's going on?
Supreme Court judge.
My God.
His mom was a county or something judge, whatever that was.
And from what I read, this was like the most botched. Like, it was a gold cord. It was a short cord. It was like a cheap
gold cord.
I think it was like a phone charger or something. Just hanging from the closet.
Do you know how often our kids break their cords to their phone charger?
Yeah.
And she's going to hang herself with it?
Not that, but there wasn't, like, there was, I don't know, remember where I heard this. I think it was through when I Googled it. But the cord, they were thinking that couldn't have been how she died because there was bruises down here instead of up here.
Okay.
Like, you know how you strangle yourself, you'll have marks under your chin here?
Yeah, from the weight.
But it was down here at the base of her neck, like someone pulled it from behind and choked her.
Oh.
And then hung her because it was down low instead of up. But ruled a suicide nonetheless.
Well, sure. She choked herself and then moved
Hung
the
herself?
cord.
Oh. But Aunt has since moved and is married as of today. So has got a wife. So she lived.
How in the hell?
Right.
After. I'm sorry, but if we met and you found out that the previous two women I've been with died mysteriously.
No.
You probably wouldn't have had a second date.
I wouldn't have. Nope. I'd been like, I couldn't end that date fast enough. I'd texted Jennifer and been like,
Be like,
911. 911. She called me. Oh my gosh. I had an accident. Can you come out? And I would have been like, I have to go.
I have to go. My friend
I'm so sorry
was in
to
an
end
accident.
this early.
It's call me. We'll
reschedule for sure.
I'm so sorry.
It was a great time. Block. Ghost.
Damn it, she
Casper, yes. But here are some strange things that had the case. I know.
Here are some strange.
It's all strange. It's all suspicious. But these are just some little facts at the end. The blood found in the apartment was never tested. It was just wiped up and thrown out. They didn't test the blood to see if it's hers because, I mean, they can't really tell. She has injuries, obviously, but she did go down through a trash compactor.
Yeah.
They can't tell what injuries came from
beforehand.
in the apartment. Yeah. And what went. So that could have been someone else's blood. She could have been attacked and broke the glass.
So wait a minute. Okay. Her death is an accident. They think she got herself down there, but nobody has explained the broken glass and blood in the apartment.
Well, I'm thinking they're assuming she broke the glass, cut herself, and was taking out some pieces of glass to put in the chute, and then fell in the chute.
But she did. But she had to climb.
Yeah. See what I'm saying? It's
the mental gymnastics that the police and the court would have to, and the coroner, just to come up with that this was an accident and this is how this happened.
I think
were they on drugs and drunk too?
No, I think it's his dad. I just picture like them all there talking. His dad's over there like they're like accident. Like yeah, accident.
Wow.
So I just think his dad was probably standing there glaring at them the whole time, and they're like, "I ain't going up against a Supreme Court judge. Nothing, sir." Like, oh, horrible accident, Your Honor. But there's no fingerprints found around the chute. So if she was pulling on the wall like that, she didn't leave no fingerprints.
Her hands would have been up on that like that.
But also, if she cut herself on the glass, which I assume would be hand. Yep. No blood, no fingerprints around the chute. The wall. I'm thinking she had a struggle. Maybe they had a fight in the apartment. A glass got broken and she grabbed that to defend herself, and someone got cut, and this might not be her blood. I don't know.
And then somebody would have had to have grabbed her, pushed her arms together like this.
Yeah, shoved her
and
in
then
there.
Shoved her down the chute. But
tied her all up tight and stuck her in there.
How do you lift a person to shove them down the chute and pull the handle at the same time? It's two people.
Two people?
Yeah, it has to.
Oh, are you insinuating maybe?
It has to be.
Daddy was there?
I don't know if it's Daddy or not, but
it's
two people, because look at that. Somebody has to hold that handle open while you push
What if
the
he
feet
had
in.
her? What if she went face down?
How?
What if he had her flopped over his shoulder, pulled it open, stuck her feet in there so
like
that it stayed open?
The opposite way?
Yeah, stayed open and then just kind of slid her down.
Like
face down.
Like that?
Like this, and just her hands, beside her, and he grabbed her hands and arms, and he's just like right down in there.
Maybe. I swear that
I got the door open.
It feels like two people though.
But I figured she would have had injury on her face if she went down.
Yeah,
and she
her
was
face
alive.
Would have banged that. Yeah,
she crawled around at the bottom.
So you had to have been holding her arms together and like against her body, and aiming her feet while she's probably struggling.
I was gonna say she's got to be struggling,
unless the broken glass was something hit her in the head. And she was unconscious, and then when she went down the chute, she woke up
because something crushed her foot.
Yeah.
You know what I would have done? Not if I was that drunk. I probably would not have the right mind to do this. If I was sober and you shoved me down the garbage chute and I was bleeding, I would be like, Wes. I would be writing on that floor. It might not look very pretty, but I would be like, W-E-S. I would have wrote your name, my blood on the floor. Yep.
Yeah.
I would have. But because she was alive, because she crawled around and moved around.
I'm going with two people. Yeah. Two people.
Because one person in her fighting couldn't have been able to.
No, two people.
But then why wouldn't she yell and then neighbors?
Again,
it's an apartment.
I think she got hit in the head.
You think they knocked
That's
her
what
out?
the broken glass was.
Had to be.
Broken glass was her getting hit in the head. She's unconscious. Two people are carrying her out. One person pulls the thing and aims her feet while the other person shoves the body.
Case
it's the easiest way to do it.
We solved it. I was like, I don't know. Makes sense because I can't think of her doing it herself.
Occam's razor. The simplest solution is usually the truth.
Because I can't figure out how she did it herself.
She can't.
Accidental or intentional.
Not feeling that. It's definitely murder, and it's two people.
And I'm just shocked that the police were not. If that was occurred anywhere else, and he had any other parents, if you walked into an apartment and you walked in on a murder, and some guy came down to get his Chinese takeout wings, whatever, and he's like, "What are you doing here?" We're like, "We found a dead body." "Oh yeah, my girlfriend's missing."
What a coinky.
There's blood and glass broken in my apartment. I don't know where she went. You would have been like, guilty. Like, you're coming with us, sir. Leave your Chinese at the desk.
So what you're telling me is there was blood and glass in your apartment, and your first thought is, let me order some food.
I guess she ain't cooking dinner. I don't know where she went.
There's blood and glass everywhere. She ain't here. Something bad happened. I'm not getting dinner tonight unless I order it.
Wouldn't you have pulled him in there?
Hell yeah.
I feel like the kids would have, and they're not even old enough to be cops. They'd have been like, why didn't they get taken to jail?
You take him in there and you question him.
Yeah, the fact that they didn't blows my mind.
It's ridiculous.
They're like, we're sorry, you can take your food back up there. No, I don't know. I'm sure they ask him a few questions, and then they're like, don't go nowhere. Stay around. But that's horrible. Her hair straightener was upstairs in the apartment, still plugged in and hot. Yeah. So that ruled out suicide right there.
Yeah.
Unless she tried to burn the whole building down.
Definitely not suicide if she was
planning on straightening
her hair.
Yeah.
She's doing some
she's doing some
beautification.
She's supposed to go with her dad to dinner.
That's right.
Remember, she had plans to go to her
so
dad's
she was
dinner
getting ready
and curling and fixing to straighten her hair to go out.
Wow.
So that took the suicide off of there.
Mm-mm. And the accident is just ridiculous. There's no way you accidentally climb up there and slide down that. So it's not an accident. It's not suicide because she was getting ready to go out to dinner. It's murder. It's got to be. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you, it's two people.
I got to correct myself because I just found this at the end. Apparently, his excuse, Ance's excuse with why he couldn't give the phone back to her mom right away was that it was broken. He took it somewhere to get it fixed. He never got it back.
What?
Like he said, it was broken. They tossed it. So her mom never got her phone. Her phone was never found. Her computer was returned to her mom weeks later, but her phone was never found.
There, you know what? There's some messages between them.
Yeah.
And he didn't give the computer back right away.
He had to check it.
It's probably a Mac.
Oh.
And your text messages show up on your Mac because it's all connected to the same Apple ID.
So he was checking his shit. So yeah. Also found in her jean pocket was a phone number, just a random phone number written on a paper. And it was found in her pocket.
Did they check the number?
No. Technically, the police didn't even collect it. It's just in her pants.
What the?
Funeral home found it. Her coroner found it, and it was just never given to the police. He just threw it away.
Oh my God.
He's like, this is trash.
These people are ridiculous.
Yeah, so it was never given to the police to be tested. It was the coroner tossed it or something. Somebody tossed it and never made it there. Yeah. Also that night, Aunt's dad.
And it was
I don't know if it was his dad and grandfather or his dad and stepmom, but his family got in that apartment somehow. But there's no records of a key fob being used. They just magically teleported, I guess. I don't know. Because his family was there. He called them, I guess, and they came. But there was no... They showed up rather quickly, and there's no key fob swipes generated for them to get there at that time.
So...
Which makes me think...
They were let in.
Yeah, which makes me think earlier at 7 o'clock and 7:29 and whatever, when he was key fobbing in and out, he was letting them in probably. And they've been there the whole time. Which supports your more than one person thing.
What?
Yeah, I think they were in there hiding somewhere, and then he's like, I gotta call them. He calls them and they show up and they're like, oh, so sorry, what happened? When they were already in there, because they're like, we didn't see his key fob or no other key fob associated with them being used.
Now, if the
after
police would have done their work, they could have figured out where those other people were when they received phone calls.
Mm-hmm. Or even she was caught on CCTV camera coming in and out. Review the footage.
So the cameras would have showed other people coming in and out.
Yeah, would have showed them coming in and out.
In fact, you could look at those key fob times
and go to the security
see who was
camera
coming in and out with that key fob. But
nah,
we're just going to call it an accident and move on.
She's just a damn good gymnast.
I don't know why I did that accent for that, because these people are Australian.
Right. But also, this kind of leads into the possibility that he's had some help because his dad and stepmom, as you know, are judges, and his older sister got out of a drug conviction due to the possible embarrassment of the family.
There you go,
she's
people.
like, my dad's a Supreme Court judge, and they're like, we're just going to drop this charge right here. So that knowing that right there makes me think that it's very possible. They're like, we don't want a murder charge tied to this Supreme Court judge family.
Mm-hmm. Let's make this go away. Accident.
Yeah, because if they got her out of a drug charge, plus her grandfather's Melbourne drug trade thing, this girl got a drug charge.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking maybe that family's into some drug trade.
Yeah.
Maybe if
the whole family's involved with drug trafficking is what it sounds like.
I don't know, but if the judge and everybody was involved in drug trafficking, then it would make sense that if she would have found out, she would have been canned.
Which would probably mean the police are involved in that drug trafficking as well, which is why they covered this up.
Maybe. They're scared of him. I don't know.
No, I would say they're part of it.
They're part of it.
They get a cut to turn their head the other way when they see shit going on.
Plus, he's a judge, so if one of them got caught with a hooker or something and he let it go, he's got some collateral on him.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, I'll take you to jail and I'll throw your ass in for 30 years.
I'm going with
unless you just let this slide.
I'm going with the whole justice system in this area is all connected to this drug trafficking group.
Had to be. And she either, I don't know if she heard too much, or she might have been actually in it, and because they were breaking up, his dad and then may have been like, she may have been like, you know what, I'm going to spill the beans. I'm going to rat you out. Yeah. Maybe she said, you know what, I'm done with all this.
She knows about.
And they're like, we got to get rid of her.
Anthony, she knows about the family business. You can't let her go.
So we got to offer.
Take care of her, huh? Take her out.
It's awful. But
she's going to be sleeping with the fishes in the garbage disposal.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
Well, that was it. That horrible, sad case is all.
No, so there's no justice on this, no clarifications, no anything.
Almost as disappointing as our last marriages.
True.
It is.
Wow.
It's horrible. I feel so bad because she's so pretty and she has a pretty smile.
Yeah. She looked
and to be trapped in that situation's horrible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because, I'm sure her alcohol and sleeping pills, she didn't want to deal with him.
Maybe. She could have had some other issues too.
Yeah.
You said she had some mental health issues as well.
Depression, but I'm sure being with him and not being able to do anything
probably didn't help.
Yeah,
no, it probably made it worse actually.
And she just said, I'm just going to take pill, drink, and just sleep. Like, I don't want to be around him. I don't want to. I think that's what happened.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, so there you go. That's something to... Now, what do we got for next week? Episode 14. We got a Patreon one coming up tonight, too.
Yeah.
So if you watch Patreon, you see us in the same clothes. It's because it's
not because we're dirty.
It's not because we wear the same shit all the time. It's because we recorded the same night.
Basketball shorts and a t-shirt I tend to wear a lot.
Yeah,
it's probably different color shorts, and I have a lot of white and gray t-shirts. So don't judge me.
No, don't
judge me.
Stitch.
Stitch.
So episode 14, we're going to... I started on it. I think I'm done everything but my pictures.
What's it about?
It is...
without giving me all the details.
I don't want to call her the original.
OG?
Kid Killer.
OG Kid Killer?
But, yeah, this is a whammy for you. Andrea Yates. You heard of that?
No.
It's got some mental health, some child murders, and some religion.
Well...
So now they get to see your face when you cuss out. Yeah.
Y'all get to see my face when I get angry about these religious ones.
He's like, yeah. See?
Can't hide
so it's going to be a stressful episode for you.
Mm-hmm. Do we know what Patreon is tonight?
Patreon is Paul Boyd.
Paul Boyd.
The animator, designer. I don't know what you exactly call him. Doesn't say, but he was the designer for the Ed, Edd n Eddy. He did the drawings.
Did he create it?
I don't know if he created it or if he was just the
Wait,
artist.
right there.
Yeah. I think
gonna
he
look
was,
it up.
because when I looked it up somewhere, he said he was, did Ed, Ed, Eddie. The other spot, it said he was the animator that drew the intro. Like the little intro video. He designed that.
Ed and Eddie.
So
No, because the creator
so
is
he was just
Daniel
the person
Edward
that designed the intro.
Antonucci.
So he designed.
No way. Now that is a killer segue into this Patreon episode.
I didn't even know that.
The creator of Ed, Ed, and Eddie, his name is Daniel Edward Antonucci.
Italian. Ant. Anthony.
If it's Antonucci, his nickname for all we know could be Ant.
That would be awful.
Wow. Huh. Anyway, so this guy's name is
Paul Boyd.
Paul Boyd.
So, because I read somewhere he did the introduction video.
Paul Boyd.
I'm sure I say it somewhere on here.
I can't type.
We know.
They don't.
They do now.
Ed and Eddie. Paul Boyd, Canadian animator.
Yep. So he did the animation for the intro. So I thought.
I don't know if it's just the intro, but
It may have been more. It says animator for the show, so but somewhere I read intro. He could probably did more, I'd say.
he was a member of the production team for Ed, and Eddie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, as a title sequence animator.
Title sequence. Intro.
He did it.
So we're getting into that ordeal.
So yeah,
Another
we'll be
one
wearing the
make you
same
mad.
clothes because we're going to record it after this. It'll be on Patreon. So if you're a Patreon member, if you're not,
Out.
join. $3, right? $3.
Hell, I don't know. You set it up. I'm just
I
here
don't
for my
remember.
looks.
$3, I believe. And it'll get you bonus episodes. We do what, like a couple of them,
Couple
2 to
month.
3 a month.
Mm-hmm. I already got the next one picked out, so it'll be.
And they're the first one was audio, but they're gonna be video, just like this.
I think
By the way,
it's
if you're
more.
listening to us and you want to watch this video, I think I'm gonna put it up on YouTube and Spotify, I believe.
I thought, yeah, you mentioned Spotify.
So YouTube and Spotify, if you want to watch videos of our regular episodes, if you're listening, they'll be the same place they've always been. And bonus episodes will be video moving forward, just like this. And they will be on Patreon only.
And on Patreon, I have to say, we didn't do video when we did OJ, but the more gruesome photos, those cases, I will do Patreon.
Yeah.
Just
You know
because
what?
YouTube is picky. And not this next case coming up, but the case after has some photos that I think YouTube probably wouldn't appreciate. So
True.
that's going to be a Patreon automatically, but
Yeah. I mean, we may be able to just... So on Patreon, I can do posts, just like social medias. What if we take all those photos
yeah.
and put them on the Patreon and say, here's the photos from the OJ episode.
Oh,
Bonus
we could.
content. I mean,
Yeah.
that way they get to see what we were looking at that time.
There you go. You guys can backtrack if you haven't listened to
I
it
think
yet.
I'll do that. I mean, I'm not promising. I'm not doing it right this second, but you know,
He's like, not right now.
if I
but-
remember to do it, I'll do it. So
There you go.
that'll be some extra bonus content. So all the stuff we looked at during the OJ cases or episodes. One
Yeah.
case.
Oh, still got PTSD. All right.
So, so at the end of that OJ episode or series,
Yeah.
you came to the conclusion it was OJ
Keto.
and Cato. And I kind of agreed with you and I went with it. But after further thinking about it,
After sitting on it a while.
I still think it was OJ and his son. I know you're going to say the time card
The time card.
keeps him away from there.
Yes.
But here's my theory.
Not just the time card.
That was the only thing that kept him away from there.
No, remember they're saying he could not have made the trip Depending on her death time.
Okay, so
she couldn't have made the trip from work to his girlfriend.
We're going to go death time
OJ's
the prosecutors gave. Okay, so that gives them extra time. Here's my theory on the time card. Okay, pay attention. The time card, the name was written on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
The first time was written on it.
Yeah.
And the rest were all punched. The waiter said that the cooking staff or the chefs would not be there that late on a Sunday. But both dates we assume would be a Sunday. Mm-hmm. The first one and the last one. Both are after 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
So whoever's time card that is regularly stays that late on Sundays, which would make them not cooking staff or a chef, but possibly somebody who cleans up. My theory is it's an old time card, and he said they normally have labels on them. I think it was an old time card that maybe used to not have labels on it, or it did have a label and it was peeled off. And then the name was written on it, and he's like, this is my time card. It would give him an alibi. There's no reason that waiter would say that the kitchen staff would not be there that late, and they were. It's not his time card. I think it's OJ and his son.
No.
You think it's OJ and Kato? Those are our final assessments.
His son hates OJ. And
plenty of people who hate someone still do things for them.
I didn't interrupt you. Listen, and if you've ever pulled a stick, because I've mislabeled stuff all the time, not time cards, but cards, mm-hmm. Post-it papers, and once you pull a label off, you're pulling part of the paper off.
Okay,
too.
I didn't say it had to be a label peeled off. It could have been an old.
But also, if it was an old time card with no name on it, why are they keeping it?
I don't know. Maybe there's a box of old time cards laying somewhere
by the time clock. They're like, grab you one if you don't have one.
I didn't say it was just laying by the time clock. I'm just saying.
I know, but
he works there. He knows where things are. Perhaps in the office, there's an old box, or in storage, maybe even back. There's a bunch of boxes with old time cards in it. I don't know. I'm just saying, there's no reason for that waiter to give that statement if it wasn't true. Like, he had nothing to do with this. He was just asked, do the chefs and the cooking staff stay that late? And he goes, no. The only people who would stay that late would be people who are cleaning up afterwards. Once they're done cooking and there's no more customers coming in, they have no reason to stick around.
I'm like Derek on this. I'm like, because when they interviewed that waiter, it was years later. Like,
I guess
10 or something years later. He ain't gonna remember. The restaurant's been closed for a while. He's probably had multiple other jobs. He's not gonna know for certain. And plus, the guy that interviewed him was the private investor that was swore up and down. Like, he was dead set on, like, you heard Derek's talking. He was like, no, I disagree. No, he was dead set. So if he were to question that waiter and be like, I found the knife, I found this, I really think it's him. What time did he leave that night? He's like, well, I mean, I know cooks don't stay very late. He's like, okay, so he left really late, but his time clock was written down this. Like, I think
you think it's
private investigator, the front kind of pushed him toward this way.
I don't know.
And it was so many years ago. He's like, because if you ask me what time Sharon left UPS,
but if it was something I regularly dealt with, I probably would have been like, yeah, we usually stayed later than those people. I remember that.
But like, there's usually there may have been a chance something could have
but that's 2 times in a week.
It could have been a mess. It could have been a holiday.
That's just my theory. Y'all take it the way you want to.
Don't take it at all.
She thinks OJ and Kato. I think it's OJ.
As long as you got OJ in there. Yeah.
OJ and Jason.
As long as you got OJ in there, I'm happy. Because you were completely
I mean, I assumed he probably did, but I like messing with you. So, but my final assessment, I think OJ and Jason.
Yeah. OJ Kato.
All right. I don't even know. I mean, we went back to that old case.
It's a heated debate.
It is. But anyway, Patreon, loveandluminol.com and Love and Luminol at pretty much everything.
Except Twitter.
Yeah, we don't do Twitter.
We don't.
Nobody does Twitter.
Nobody does Twitter. No.
Not since Elon got it.
No.
But yeah, Facebook. I know that's for old people. It's okay though. We're old. Well, I am.
Watch your mouth.
I'm old. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube moving forward. Yeah, and Patreon. That's all Love and Luminol. And then loveandluminol.com if you want to just find out where you can listen to us. And anything else?
No.
Oh, loveandluminol@gmail.com if you want to email us.
There you go.
Let us know how we're doing. If you like us, if you hate us, let us know that too. If there's special cases you just want to hear us do.
Any local ones I really am hunting for.
Well, you telling them you're hunting for local, but they don't know where local is.
True. Anyway, that's my mission right now.
We'll just say near Louisville.
Louisville area.
Louisville, Kentucky.
Indiana, Kentucky.
What?
Any cases.
Maybe a little into Ohio.
Chicago. We've hit Chicago.
Yeah. That's where I grew up. So
yeah. So anytime, anywhere around there.
In Tennessee. I grew up in Tennessee a little bit too. Yeah,
you did a case on someone you friend in Tennessee.
Paul Ferrer, go back and listen to it. It's one of our top ones.
When I say local, I mean anything in that. Don't recommend something in Nevada.
Midwest and South.
We're not over that way.
I mean, we'll do cases other places, but
we've done cases other places.
We're trying to hear a little bit more close to us. Maybe even go visit some stuff. See what it's like. Trying
to mix it up because a lot of people have done a lot of these cases, the bigger cases.
Like OJ.
Watch your mouth. So we're trying to get to the more smaller, less covered.
Yeah. But, that's it for today. Mm-hmm. Anything else you want to add?
No. And if you know personally and you want to be interviewed, that'd be great.
Yeah.
We can do a Zoom interview.
If you are connected to a case, suggest the case and say, hey, I actually know some deets on this. Hit us up. We'll get you on here. We'll put you through like a Zoom call so you can be on the video and the audio.
If you want to be.
If you want to. Or we can block your face out. I can
mask your voice, can't you?
I can block your face, mask your voice, whatever you want.
Magic, so.
Yeah.
Or if you just want to tell us and not want to be anonymous and not be, that's fine too.
Yeah.
We'll just say our source said.
Like I did with Paul Ferrer.
Yeah, where you just said a guy I knew. Yeah. So there you go. But thank you guys.
Thank you for watching and listening.
Unbearable.
Unbearable.
This is our first video.
I think we did pretty well. We ain't got like a elaborate set or anything. We're just chilling in our living room, but we got some lighting. We got a decent camera. We got our microphones that we've had the whole time, or since we got better, and these nice, cool new stands. So I think we're doing pretty well.
Yeah, moving up.
I'd like to get a better camera.
Anyways, thank you guys for watching.
Thanks for watching. See you later.
See ya.
Bye.